It is main event time here at the Sands Events Center in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Edner Cherry taking on Lydell Rhodes as we go to the Corona tail of the tape. Cherry is older, a lot more experience. He has fought for a world title twice now in his career. Rhodes has got the reach advantage, but it's Cherry who's taller. Rhodes, of course, a couple of weeks ago, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, passed away. Paying homage to the greatest. You can see he has a special uniform there. I am the greatest. And he also gave us a little video tribute to Muhammad Ali. Take a listen.
In honor of Muhammad Ali, when Fox Sports 1 goes live, Cherry's going down in 5.
How about that? In true Ali fashion, he's predicting a 5th round knockout. Both fighters are in the ring. We get the official introduction from Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Sands Casino here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Premier Boxing Champions now features the main event. Live on FS1, 10 rounds in the super featherweight division. Your 3 judges scoring ringside are Kevin Morgan, John Pottery, and Steve Weisfeld. And the referee in charge when the bell sounds, Gary Rosato. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red and the gold. His professional record, 23 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, including 11 wins coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Lydell Hackman Rhodes. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red and the blue. As a professional, 34 wins, 19 of those coming by way of knockout, against 7 losses and 2 bouts even. Fighting out of Wauchula, Florida. He is the former title challenger, Edner Cherry Bomb Cherry.
Peace in, Ed. Let me check your trucks out here. Okay, Lydell, Edner, I gave you specific detailed instructions on the lock. I'm only going to tell you 2 things. Protect yourselves at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell. God bless.
Well, Edner Cherry says he should be the IBF super featherweight champion right now. He believes a win over Lydell Rhodes gets him another crack at the title. Lydell Rhodes, he's coming off an 8-month layoff, the longest of his career. He has a new team, says tonight is his coming out party. And they come right after each other. Cherry in the blue trunks, Rhodes in the red and gold.
Interesting thing about Cherry is he fought for the title at 140 pounds. And usually as you get older, you get bigger. But he's actually moved down in weight. So that shows a lot of dedication that he has to be able to fight at a lower weight later in his career, because most guys move up in weight.
You got to kind of get the same credit to Lydell Rhodes, because he's fought as high as 147, and he's showed some dedication and got down in weight class. I think he's fighting at more of a natural weight, and he has a better chance against these guys because he's probably physically a little bit stronger and bigger. I don't know about bigger than physically stronger than Cherry, but most 30 pounds.
We are commercial free for this entire fight.
Yesterday, Rhodes looked a little drained at the weigh-in, but he looked like he rehydrated pretty good today, Joe.
All fighters look drained at the weigh-in.
Keep in mind, Lydell Rhodes is coming off his first professional loss. It was to Sergey Lipinets. Did a lot of moving in that fight. And as he said, after the 4th round, he was totally gassed, and that's why he said he moved so much. But said he's totally trained and ready for this one. He's got himself a new trainer, and he said he's going to fight. There's that right hand. He said that there won't be not much moving in this one. He's coming to fight.
He's sticking by his word so far. You know, he's for the most part, he's been controlling the center of the ring, and I think he's actually winning the opening round.
Yes, he is. I'll tell you what, he's boxing, but he's not running. He's holding his ground. He's fighting a good fight.
As you heard, Cherry, sparring partner, training stablemate of Keith one-time Thurman, who was in the house sitting ringside. And Thurman helped him prepare for this fight, and Cherry helped Thurman prepare for Porter.
One thing I know about Cherry, though, he keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. He's like a truth machine. He finds out exactly how much road work and everything you've been doing late in the fight. I remember his fight with the Olympian Vicente Escobedo, and he just kind of just took what he had early and just destroyed him.
I think that Lydell Rhodes has a lot more physicality at this weight, because you don't see Edner Cherry just walking in there and, you know, just able to, you know, just invade his space without getting touched or without getting hit with something, you know. So
it's early though, Joe.
It's very early. I was just about to say it's very early. Let's see if he can do the same thing in round 7.
I'm gonna tell you something that I noticed about that Rhodes is doing. He's slipping the right hand. He's going down to the same side every time. I expect later in the fight that same right hand to start landing behind the ear. He's bending to his right to get away from the right hand.
Round 1 in the books. And there is the stablemate of Edner Cherry, the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman, coming off that victory over Showtime Sean Porter over the weekend. Let's get to know Edner Cherry a little bit. He was born in the Bahamas, but how about this? Just a month ago, he became an official U.S. citizen. His favorite boxer is Evander Holyfield. His trainer, same trainer there of Keith Thurman, is Dan Birmingham. He was the 2004-2005 trainer of the year. Trained at that St. Pete Boxing Club down in Florida. And how about this? Edner Cherry is from Wauchula, Florida, which is really an hour and a half from the gym. He drives an hour and a half, 4 days out of the week to go train.
See, I didn't know that, but I know that you got to have a lot of dedication to move down in weight this late in your career, because everybody gains weight as they get older. Dan Birmingham's an excellent trainer, too. He got the 2004 and 5 Trainer of the Year because of Winky Wright. Mm-hmm. Winky Wright's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. So he's an excellent trainer. I think Winky Wright beat Shane Mosley and Felix Trinidad in those years to get that award. So he has a good corner.
Here's that right hand.
See how Rhodes keeps slipping to his right? Eventually what's going to happen is once your reflexes slow down a little bit, Cherry's going to drop a right hand right on his ear, and he's not even going to see it. I think Rhodes slips the same side every time.
I think right now Edner Cherry is overshooting the shot. He's putting the right amount of pressure. He's going to take it like a half a step back so he can land the money shot.
No, Joe, he got to bend his knees. If he bend his knees a little bit, it'll stop shooting over, and it'll shoot right on it, right on the money.
Minute gone here in round 2.
I don't see neither fighter establishing the jab, though. I like to see fighters come out and establish their jab and beat guys up with the jab first. Because once you get your jab flowing, you can pretty much land anything else up that.
You can catch your rhythm a little bit better.
Yep.
I agree.
Both of these guys are just coming out throwing bombs, you know. That's not.
Well, that was one of the things Cherry did tell us, too, that he wanted to do in this fight is establish his jab. And, you know, as he said, stay busy. Make Rhodes fight when he doesn't want to fight.
Edner Cherry is an extremely strong guy to be 130 pounds. Man. Look at him. He's extremely strong.
And Rhodes took a step back off that left hook.
He's pushing. He's starting to push Rhodes off his mark a little bit.
Rhodes is going back to what he normally do. And I always say when the going get rough, a fighter's going to revert back to what he's comfortable with. And Rhodes is a runner. He came out the first round and he's trying to stand his ground, but that's not his style. So as the going get rough, now he's fighting more off his back foot. And the tide is swinging in Cherry's way.
As they say, squares don't die round.
Under a minute here in round 2.
So Cherry has a lot of physicality, man. It's hard for guys 130 pounds to keep him off of him. Like Jason Voorhees, he's never been stopped either. That should tell you something about a guy that used to fight at 140, now he's down to 130, probably got a solid beard. I still don't like the fact that he's not jabbing his way in, but he probably won't pay for it in this fight.
But these little things, I think, is why he,
he's never
fell at the top level because he doesn't jab. He just walks in. It's a little easier for guys like him to be outboxed.
Yep.
And that's why I think he, comes up a tiny bit short at the top level.
Yep. I agree. Even though, I'm going to be honest, I think he won his last fight. I thought he beat Jose Pedraza. He should be champion right now.
I thought he won too.
Yep.
Final seconds. There's a right hand by Rhodes.
Rhodes, 10 rounds is a long time to be in the ring with Edner Cherry.
Take a look and a listen into the blue corner of Edner Cherry. It is sponsored by Applebee's.
You're not busy enough. Come on. Work that jab. Shoot that right hand. He's dipping a lot. Shoot the right hand and hook under here. All right? These first. When you get off, good jab, not just a jab. Add the right hand and a hook. When you get in close, dip left and rip that body. Rip that body. Punch in 3s and 4s, all right? Get this guy. This guy can't fight backing up. Keep backing him up all the time. You swallow? Yeah. Come on. Very close. Don't give this round away. He's coming in low with his head.
Take a look at some of the action from round 2 here, Stephen. It was basically that left hand by Cherry.
Yes, he wobbled Rhodes with that. That was a good shot.
I think if he would have set it up with the jab after he landed that big shot, he could have landed it again, but he didn't, so he never got a chance to land that shot again.
He got some great instructions from his corner. His corner said jab your way in and shoot the right hand and then bring the left hand up underneath. Rhodes is a short guy and he keeps dipping to the same side, and when he does that, he should land those shots. But Cherry doesn't bend his knees. He comes in straight. That's why he keeps overshooting like that, because he's coming in with his knees. He's coming in too high. He needs to bend his knees about 6 inches and stop putting so much on his shot, and he'll land it.
Or he needs to stop shooting straight right into the body and shoot it to his shoulder, his left shoulder, because he has his hand a little bit low. And sometimes it's not about hitting the guy in his face all the time. It's about hitting him everywhere. You know what I mean? I think if you hit him to the body with it a little bit more and then bring it over the top. If I got to look for one shot all night, you know, I can sit on one shot all night.
How about Lydell Rhodes? You can tell he's trying to keep him at bay with that jab and then try to come back with the right hand.
Lydell Rhodes is an athletic little kid, though. He knows how to survive. You can tell he probably can play a little football.
Probably can flip.
Yep. Probably can flip, play a little high school basketball point guard.
He played a lot of football.
Yep,
he started his professional career as an MMA fighter. Wrestled as well.
You can tell that he probably could beat Edner Cherry in the game of pickup basketball, but this is a fight.
You know what? Edner Cherry is doing a lot of overshooting this because he's just looked a little bit anxious, you know, and Rhodes is not complying with what he wants to do, and I think he looks a little bit frustrated. Now he's running in the shots.
Cherry's not showing the best fundamentals in this fight.
There's that sneaky jab there by Rhodes. He's trying to catch Cherry as he comes rushing in.
See how high Cherry's coming in, Brian? That's why Rhodes is able to tie him up low, because Cherry comes in high. He bends his knees a little bit and jabs, throws a couple throwaway jabs. It doesn't even have to land. Just kind of throw it away to distract him. He'll land that right hand a lot better, but he's missing. He's overshooting it every time.
Cherry's coming in high and Rhodes is going low. It's going to be a lot of clinching in this fight unless someone makes an adjustment.
Yep. As long as Cherry's been around, though, he should be able to make adjustment on this guy bending to the same side all night long and be able to catch him with the right hand at some point.
You know what, though? I disagree, Brad. I don't believe you could teach an old dog new tricks. You know, he's lived and died by this style, and I think he's going to be who he is.
Well, that's why you're the fighter and I'm the trainer.
20 seconds.
Because he could definitely bend his knees if somebody told him to bend his knees. He can understand English. He can bend his knees. He just has to be willing to do it. He has to be willing to listen.
Left hand there by Rhodes.
I think Lydell Rhodes won that round.
He may have.
It was a pesky round, but I think Lydell Rhodes landed cleaner, more effective shots.
Well, we want to remind you, coming up Saturday, July 16th, 8 o'clock in prime time at the Legacy Arena, Birmingham, Alabama, on Fox. The WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder defends it against Chris Arreola. You'll also see Sammy Vasquez take on Luis Palazzo. You don't want to miss it. Saturday, July 16th in prime time. Let's talk to me a little bit about Deontay Wilder. And of course, he had that fight set up, the mandatory with Alexander Povetkin, who got popped for a banned substance, meldonium. Fight got canceled, basically in limbo. Now Arreola, what does Wilder need to show in that fight?
Oh, man, I got a lot of respect for Wilder because he was going to go over to Povetkin's home country and fight him, and most guys on the A side don't do that. So I became a huge fan of Wilder. Wilder's must-see TV. He scored a knockout in every fight of his career except for one. And, you know, Arreola is a solid guy, and he's going to be desperate. So a desperate man is a dangerous man. I think it's going to be actually a good fight.
And you know, J-Rock, many forget it. Earlier as 2 years ago, Chris Arreola, many thought he was the best hope for an American heavyweight champion.
Yeah, you know, at that point he was the guy, you know, and he was proving it. He had a couple great ones on HBO. You know, I just think he's at the end of his road right now, and I think Deontay Wilder should win, but it's the heavyweight division, man. All it takes is one punch, and anything can happen.
This is our main event, Rhodes and Cherry. Let's take a look at how the fans, have this one scored thus far. You've got it pretty close. In fact, you've got Lydell Rhodes up just one. All of this courtesy of our mobile strike scorecard. So you gave Cherry the second round, but you've given Rhodes the first and the third round.
I think Rhodes might be winning the fight, but he's losing the battle. I don't know if he can keep Edner Cherry off for 6 more rounds, 7 more rounds, 6.5.
Rhodes doesn't have positive body language. You know, his body language looks like he's laboring, and that's not good. The judges, they'll start scoring rounds against you even if effective punches aren't landing. If your body language starts looking funny, he's like falling and getting a little bit sloppy. He has to neaten up a little bit.
Well, I think both of them are sloppy.
Yeah, they are, but Cherry's still making the fight, though.
The Cherry keeps going high, Rhodes keep going low. That's why it's a lot of clinching. Referee's gonna earn his money tonight.
He just hurt Rhodes with a sneaky low right hand.
A lot of pushing here. A minute left here in round 4.
I'm really surprised that Edner Cherry is coming in so high and missing these punches over the top of this guy's head like this with the kind of experience that he has as a fighter.
And Cherry is usually a guy with a very high work rate.
Well, he's being tied up. Brian, his work rate is being taken away from him because he's fallen into a clinch in every exchange. They're clinching every single time.
Goes back to what I said. I think Dan Birmingham is a great coach. I'm pretty sure he told him in the gym how to bend his knees and deliver a shot. I just think that he's an older fighter. He's a veteran. He's going to be who he's going to be.
You might be right with this guy. We'll see.
Final seconds of round 4.
He just missed the jab right there.
Looks like Edner Cherry's got a cut over the left eye.
Yes,
the side of his left eye.
Yep.
And that gave Rhodes a little bit of life at the end of the round because he landed a right hand after that.
Yep, right on the cut.
Let's get to know Lydell Rhodes a little bit. He's 28 years old. He's been a pro now for 5 years. And listen, he played football. He wrestled in high school. And he's from Oklahoma. Majority of his fights have taken place in Oklahoma. Favorite athlete? You guys love this. Allen Iverson.
Yes,
Philly
sir.
folk.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Allen Iverson brought so much life to the city of Philadelphia. I'm hoping the new guy, Ben Simmons, I hope he's the guy, man. I'm tired of, 10 people inside the Wauchula. You know what I mean? Hoping he's the guy.
Maybe you could fight there one day, Joe. You got to call somebody and make some arrangements or something.
Maybe.
Well, we can get that title shot we've been looking for.
See Lydell Rhodes there. Everywhere we've gone here in Bethlehem, everyone's been saying hello to you guys. They keep saying bread man, bread man.
Oh, come
How'd you
on,
get that
Brian.
name,
Stop
Bread
trying
Man?
to embarrass me. I got that from playing high school basketball. It was a movie out called Cornbread Earl and Me. And I was pretty good, and they started calling me Cornbread. And later on, I took the corn off of it and just was bread man.
This is round 5. We're scheduled for 10. Keep in mind, Rhodes told us at the top, in Ali fashion, in round 5 is when Cherry was going down.
If Rhodes knocks Cherry out in this round, I'm going to ask him what the lottery is going to be tomorrow, man.
You will be the real bread man. That's a slip.
I think Cherry is fighting with a bit of urgency. He knows that he's down. He has a cut. So I think his corner probably got in his ear a little bit and told him he needs to start winning some rounds and pick the pace up a little bit. But I don't think he's going about it the right way. Still not using his jab. He's still coming in high.
Here's Rhodes. Went to the body, started low, came back up high.
And you know what's going on now? Rhodes has the judges looking at what he's doing. He's giving the impression that he's outboxing. I don't have the punch stats in front of me. I don't know who's landing the most punch, but Rhodes is taking the mood of the fight.
There's a right hand by Lydell Rhodes.
Yep. He's taking the mood of the fight. He looks like he's outboxing him now.
Another thing we talked about, Brad, is how Cherry has his guns, meaning his gloves, pointed up, and it's harder for him to get off with a guy with his hands down.
You're right.
And he's moving away. It's easier to pick him off.
Yep, he should have his gloves pointed towards Rhodes. You're absolutely right, Joe.
Steven, you asked for the punch stats. Let's take a look at him. Through 4 rounds, Cherry's thrown 200 punches. Rhodes, 170 of them. They've connected at about the same rate. There's a good exchange.
That was a really good right hand.
The bad thing about the right hands is that he can only land one at a time.
Yep, you're right.
Just missed with that left hook.
He can never follow up with 1 or 2 shots because he's throwing wide and he's using no jab.
Cherry's doing something that I hate to see fighters do, and that's try to punch hard and draw their punches back. It's really, really hard to hit a world-class fighter when you load up and try to punch hard if he's in the center of the ring. The only way you can do that if a guy's really hurt or kind of incapacitated up against the ropes. You should always punch sharp from the shoulders and never draw your punches back. It's a big mistake. And Cherry's actually a hard puncher, but he doesn't have what you call a glossy KO percentage because he loads up so darn much. Everything is a loaded up shot. You should be sharp and quick when you're attacking the guy.
Here comes the final 10 seconds of round 5. Big overhand right there by Rhodes.
It's a very sloppy fight.
And here's an exchange at the bell. As Keith Thurman gives his approval. You talked about Edner Cherry coming in high here, J-Rock, and you know, he's missed. He's thrown some haymakers, but he certainly missed the mark.
Well, I believe if you can't land a jab, a lot of times you can't land anything. And he's not landing any of his jabs, and he's coming in high, and he's throwing wide. And like I said before, Rhodes is going low, and he's missing everything. He has to bend his knees, land his jab, and I guarantee everything after that will follow.
Give me the water.
I'm a big fan of Edner Cherry's, but he's fighting a really poor technical fight right here. And this is a fight that a guy like Cherry has to win. You know, he can't just keep being the bridesmaid constantly in his career when it's time to step up. He has to win this fight at 33 years old.
Well, he and his team feel like, hey, look, I have to win today because if I get a victory today, he feels like he's been promised to get another shot at the world title. So as you point out, you can't afford a loss here.
No. And Lydell Rhodes is a solid kid, but Cherry's the favorite in this fight for a reason. You know, he can't lose to Lydell Rhodes. You know what? Edner Cherry just made an interesting adjustment. He just shot a right uppercut underneath. Maybe that shot will start landing because going over the top hasn't been landing.
I think sometimes fighters that's been fighting on the championship level for a certain amount of years and they got to take a step back because of a loss, sometimes they can fight down to the level of their competition. Very few guys, only the elite guys could just wipe up a B-level guy. You know what I mean? I don't think Edner Cherry is super elite, but he's kind of like on the B-, B+ level. So that's why I think he's having a little bit of trouble. Because he's not an elite fighter at 130 pounds. Good shot.
Right hand. Rhodes has really found the mark here with his right hand.
Rhodes is a crafty little surviving kind of kid, man. Sergey Lipinets is a really hard punching 140-pound fighter. And Rhodes was out of shape in that fight. And he lost that fight, but he was able to make it the distance, and that was at 140 pounds, man. This kid really knows how to survive and handle himself in the ring without getting stopped.
Said he trained just 2 weeks for Lipinets. And he said after the 4th round, I had nothing left, and I just moved to survive their entire fight.
And he made it to the finish line.
I think Rhodes is landing cleaner and more effective shots. I think he's winning the fight, man. Cherry's gonna have to do something to turn this fight around, but he's did it before. He's got a lot of big power punching ability at 130 pounds, and you can't blink your eyes because the fight might be over.
Yeah, he's got that cherry bomb, which is that right hand.
Cherry stopped one of my favorite guys,
Stevie Johnston.
Yes, he did, and he stopped Wes Ferguson, the kid that used to fight on Mayweather's undercard back in the day.
It was on Showbox.
Let them fight their way out. 30 seconds here in round 6. There's a jab by Cherry.
This is a rough fight. These guys are going to be sore tomorrow morning.
Crowd voices their displeasure.
Hear the crowd booing because there's not a lot of clean punching. It's intense, but it's not clean punching.
Well, I think sometimes when the crowd boo, they don't understand. Some casual fans don't understand the art of boxing. I can enjoy this kind of fight like this because I know what each guy should be doing. So I'm actually intrigued by what could possibly happen going down the stretch.
Deep breath.
I can understand why the crowd's booing, Joe. These guys they're not putting on a great technical performance, and people want to see clean punching.
Well, neither one of them are technical guys, though, Steven.
And use your speed. You hear me? Look at me. Use your speed, kid. You're in shape for this, all right? You can throw your hands, all right? All right. Like I said, the rounds are too close. You got to let your hands go.
Boxing was good at the end, but you got to touch them while you're boxing. Okay.
That's the trainer of Lydell Rhodes, Ernie Zavala. Said he got 2 things he gave Rhodes for this fight. Got him in shape, gave him confidence. He's coming off an 8-month layoff. It's the longest of the career for Rhodes. Cherry comes right after him with right hand.
Cherry comes out like this every round because he knows he's losing, he knows he's down. He has to make something happen, but he's going to force it. You know, he got 3 rounds left, but he's still not using the jab. And I just can't believe a world-class fight like this just jump right in and don't use a jab. I just can't believe it.
Sometimes I hear trainers say when you got that height advantage, you need to fight tall. Is he not fighting tall?
You know what? I don't think he have a really huge height advantage. You know, but tall or short, you have to use your jab. The jab is the fundamental keys for boxing.
It may not apply in his case, Brian, because Cherry's more of a puncher and a come forward guy, but it's just basic fundamentals. You walk towards a guy, you point your shoulder at him, and you just bend your knees and just shoot a jab. His hands are high and his knees aren't bent, and he's overshooting consistently. We're in the 7th round of a fight, and he still hasn't made the adjustment yet. You know, he's the more physical fighter, he's the better puncher, but he's letting this guy, kind of survive because he can't land anything clean just from a simple technical adjustment.
Let's take a look how you, the fans, have this one scored here, 6 rounds through.
Wow.
And you've given Rhodes a big advantage. How about that? You've given him a 4-round advantage.
I don't agree with that.
Thanks to our mobile strike scorecard. You, the fans, on the Throwdown scoring app on your Apple or Android device.
I think Rhodes is winning, but I haven't been scoring round by round, but I get the impression that Rhodes is landing the more cleaner, effective punches. Cherry's throwing punches, but he's missing a lot.
You got to set it up like that. Set it up with the jab to the body. Set it up with the jab to the body.
Minute now, here in round 7.
Right hands there.
Yep.
Little combination there by Rhodes.
Those quick little flows like that can steal the round.
I think Rhodes just buzzed Cherry with the right hand on the inside. He was extremely confident, you know, in his new camp and his new coaches, and you know, he said he had a really good camp, and pretty confident for a guy that's coming off of a loss and a draw, you know. And he's showing it here tonight. It wasn't fake confidence, you know. It was real, and I think he's winning. I don't know exactly by how much, but I think he's definitely winning the fight.
Neither fighter has ever lost back-to-back fights. Both fighters coming here off of a loss. So one of them going home with the first of their career. 2 straight defeats.
I think these next 3 rounds will decide the fight.
Take a look at some of the action.
See,
you guys talked about sloppy fight.
When you wing like that, you know, it's kind of like a crapshoot. You know, it's like whoever catch you first. You know, if I was ever a trainer, I would never train a fighter to exchange punches like that with your head down and your head up and just, you know what I mean, not placing your punches right. I just think it's bad fundamentals, and it's making out for an ugly fight. That's why the crowd is booing.
Well, we saw it a little bit earlier in the fight, Steven. Let's take a look here. And again, another round for Edner Cherry and another round of missing.
Yeah, Cherry's just not an accurate puncher. You know, Julian Wynn's one of the most accurate punches I've ever seen. He hits you right on the money because sometimes you may have to even take something off a punch just to land it. Cherry's throwing everything hard without setting anything up, and you just don't hit. You know, Rhodes isn't like a great fighter, but he's world class, and you're not gonna hit a world class kid with reflexes throwing those kind of punches, man. And it's really a shame because Cherry has been a tough luck guy throughout his career, and he may lose a decision here, and his career will probably be over because the prospect's not gonna fight a rough guy like this if they don't have to. So he needs to win this fight.
He's got 2 rounds to do it, because I believe he's down big.
1-2, yeah. There by Rhodes, and he got out of there.
And then he ties him up and he walks him, and then when the referee breaks him, he gets the distance between them. Watch out, every time he hit Cherry, he walks him.
Another thing Rhodes is doing, he's using his left jab, he's just sticking his glove out to the blind Cherry. And Cherry can't get no punches off when he do that. That's why he starts to win.
It's a move that Andre Ward does. He kind of controls you with his left hand.
Yes, and blinds you, control you, move you around. You have to be physically strong to do that. I don't know how physically strong Rhodes is, but it's working here.
There's a feint and a jab by Rhodes.
See, watch him how he ties him up. He walks him into the referee, breaks it. He knows how to survive. See, that's killing time, and he's already winning the round. See, he makes the referee breaks him because he walks him until the referee breaks the clinch. Very, very smart survival tactic when you're not the bigger puncher in the fight. See, he walks him right to the referee every time.
Rhodes has all the momentum. He's actually said a few words to his corner. I heard his corner say, "Come on, let's go." And he kind of like nodded back a little bit. He has all the momentum. He's confident, and I believe that he knows he's winning the fight, which is most important.
Under a minute here now in round 8.
You know what's ironic, Joe? Lydell Rhodes has emulated Tim Bradley in a lot of camps to get different fighters like Manny Pacquiao ready for Tim Bradley, and Tim Bradley beat Edner Cherry in Edner Cherry's title shot at
about
130
11 rounds to 1.
Yep, and Lydell Rhodes, he's not as good as Tim Bradley, but he has similar qualities, and if he beats him, that would be really ironic. Good trade.
Another miss by Cherry. Eats a jab from Rhodes.
See, I just used his hand, Brian, and just maneuvered him back.
You would think Cherry being a veteran, he would have some kind of adjustment to make, and I'm really ashamed that, you know, the way he's fought tonight, because he hasn't made any adjustments.
Yeah, he's just fighting harder instead of smarter.
Yep, you got it.
He's down here. You gotta dig down, dig underneath. Let your hands go. Come on. Come on.
Put my head. Put some water on my head.
Huh?
My head, water.
Come on.
What do you think this guy's thinking as he watches his stablemate?
I don't know. You know, when you're watching the fight in the biased form, I mean, it's probably hard for him to be objective when his stablemates fighting, you know, so I really don't know.
I honestly think he really doesn't care. He just come up with the biggest win of his career. I just think he's like, you know, he doesn't really care.
That was just one heck of a fight between him and Sean Porter.
Yes, it was.
This is round 9. We're scheduled for 10 of our main event.
2 more rounds he has to do it. To land something big or have at least get a 10-8 round or something like that.
Just miss with that right hand.
Is Rhodes hurt?
I don't know, but his body language looked a little bit strange.
I didn't even think the punch landed.
Get right to our punch test. Through 8. Rhodes has landed 25% of his punches. Cherry has thrown almost 400. Has not landed as many as Rhodes has.
That was a good jab by Cherry.
Under 2 minutes now here in round 9. Oh, just missed with that right hand.
You see right there? He throws like a half a jab.
And then he leaves it out there. Yep. Very good tech.
If I was Cherry, I would take that glove. I would put my hand on the outside of his glove and push him to the side that he's leaning towards, and that way he'll just fall down.
Yep. It'll almost be like pulling the carpet from up under somebody. Well, maybe they don't learn that stuff in Florida, Joe.
That's why we're from Philadelphia, boxing capital of the world.
Minute. Here and now, round 9.
I'm really impressed with Rhodes' gas tank, man. He hasn't seemed to take his foot off the gas.
He's fighting a good fight.
Yeah, he's fighting a really good fight. It's a little bit pesky, but hey, man, some days you can win the day and look good tomorrow.
There's a right hand by Rhodes that gets in.
He's mastered that grab and hustle kind of style. Rhodes is not going to be easy for none of these young guys coming up at 130 pounds. And we got some really good prospects in the United States at 130 pounds. And Omar Douglas, Javante Davis, and Tevin Farmer. We got 3 really good American prospects, man. And he won't be easy for none of those kids.
That weight class. That weight class is really heating up.
Yes, it is.
So is the action there of Rhodes here at the final seconds of this round. He let his hands go here. And he's probably put another round in the book as he tags Cherry with a jab.
He's confident.
Right at the bell.
He's confident. Rhodes is extremely confident. You know, he knows that he's winning.
Deep breath right there.
Take a look back here at some of the action from round 9. You said he's confident. He was the one connecting in this round.
See, Cherry's just.
It looked like something bothered Rhodes in that exchange, but he recovered pretty good.
When Cherry gets home, we look at this fight, he's going to be sick to his stomach. He's just been overshooting all night.
Too
anxious. Jab, too anxious. Sometimes you can be over anxious. You know, it happens to the best of us, but I would expect that out of a 10, 11-0 prospect, not a 40-fight veteran.
I go back to one of the things he told us in the fighter meeting. I can't be too anxious. I got to cut the ring off on this guy, make him fight when he doesn't want to fight, establish my jab. It's like all the things he told us that he was going to do, he hasn't done.
You know what?
It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it.
Excuse me, Steven. I think he looked in too much of Rhodes' last fight. Sometimes you can look too deep into a fight, and everybody's not going to fight you the way they fought everybody else. You know what I mean? So he needs a knockout.
This is the 10th and final round.
I think it's a little closer than you guys think. I think there's been a few rounds that's a few swing rounds. I think Rhodes is winning, but nothing is guaranteed in boxing, man. Scoring a fight is subjective.
Well, you can just ask Cherry that. He thought he had won that fight against Pedraza.
Yep.
One judge had it 116, 112 Cherry. The other ones had it 117, 111
See,
Pedraza.
and that's all over the place. You know, that's 9-3 one way and 8-4 the other way.
And you, the fans on our mobile strike scorecard, you've got Rhodes up. 7 rounds there and 7 points.
And most likely the judges won't have it a 7-point spread when it comes time to read the scorecard. So,
well, I think when you have 3 judges, I think it boils down to the preference of what the judge like. Some judge might like the way Rhodes is boxing. Another judge might like the way Edner Cherry is coming forward. But one thing we can all agree on is that nobody's landed clean punches. But I think Rhodes lands the more effective cleaner punches in this particular fight.
I think what Rhodes did was he controlled the mood of the fight. More things happened that Rhodes wanted to happen than what Cherry wanted to happen. Neither guy beat the other one up, but he controlled the mood of the fight. That's what Floyd Mayweather does so good. He don't have to beat you up, but he controls the mood of the fight.
He just hurt Rhodes. He just stunned Rhodes. I don't know if he's hurt, but he's definitely stunning the guy's attention with a jab.
70 seconds left here in this fight.
Rhodes is a pesky, pesky guy.
Yes, he is. Jab, grab, turn, spin, jab, grab, duck, walk you. Very tough guy to fight.
You know what reminds me of that? He's not nowhere near as good as him. The Cuban guy from a few years, I can't remember his name.
Joe Casamayor.
Joe Casamayor is that way. He's just a much, much better boxer.
Oh, man. Joe Casamayor is a Hall of Famer, Joe. Don't compare Rhodes to that guy.
I said not as good.
30 seconds here left in the fight. Combination here by Rhodes.
Performance like this from Cherry could be a career killer.
Yes, at 33.
If I had a 17 and no prospect that was on his way up, I wouldn't fight Cherry.
No doubt about it.
Lydell Rhodes coming off the feet. Cherry swinging. Oh, and hitting with a right hand at the bell. When we come back, the judge's decision. Lydell Rhodes thinks he's victorious. We're going to find out what the judges think when we come back. Welcome back to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. You're watching Toe to Toe Tuesday. Edner Cherry, Lydell Rhodes. Let's take a look back here at this fight here, J-Rock.
From the beginning, I just think that Edner Cherry was trying to overly impress too much and he was too anxious. And I just think he was running into shots and he wasn't, using just basic fundamental boxing. And I think he left that home back in Florida. And Lydell Rhodes gave him a hard time, and I think Lydell Rhodes won. I don't think it should be that close.
This is the middle rounds of the fight. It was really the only part where they had some pretty good exchanges. Rhodes did a lot of that. 1-2, get away. Snuck in a right hand a time or two. And then the end of the fight, I thought Cherry started to pick it up a little bit, but it was Rhodes again and kept catching him whenever he tried to come in.
It was an ugly fight. I think don't be surprised if you hear a little funny scoring because sometimes when fights are that ugly, you never know what the judges are scoring.
Here's our final punch stats brought to you by Motel 6. You see Rhodes landed 24% of his punches through 420 of them. Cherry threw nearly 500 punches. He landed 20% of those punches. Let's find out who won this fight. The judge's official decision is in. Here's Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the full 10 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Kevin Morgan, scores the bout 98-92. And judges Steve Weisfeld and John Pottery see the bout identical 97-93. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Edner Cherry Bomb Cherry.
Wow. How about that?
Wow.
You said always a bridesmaid, never a bride. He's the bride tonight.
Hey, listen, you know, I thought Rhodes probably edged the fight, but scoring the fight is subjective. And one thing Cherry was doing, he was making the fight. And Rhodes was doing a lot of slick, cute stuff, but he wasn't really landing a lot of clean punches, you know. But I feel bad because I do think that Rhodes probably edged the fight. But you know what? The boxing guys even things out because Cherry got one tonight, and the last fight I thought he won and he lost.
How about that? I mean, you look at Cherry, he's obviously happy, but even his corner was like, whoa, okay. But you thought Rhodes won this fight, and as you said, J-Rock, you didn't think it was even close.
I definitely thought Rhodes won, but you know what? He doesn't have nothing to hang his head about. You know, I think he's definitely he knows what his weight class is. He knows what he's capable of, and he knows that he can hang with a world-class guy because Cherry is world-class. And I think he can learn a lot from this fight and have a really good career, and might even be a world champion. Who knows?